Brian Cashman, you listen to the excuses over the last 3 seasons, after the GM meetings, after the winter meetings, of Brian Cashman coming out and saying that we're still spending money, we're still trying to put the best team together, and trying to sell the Yankees after this organization has fallen short year in and year out. You pay Aaron Judge a 9-year extension this past offseason, giving him $360 million and incentives for a guy that couldn't stay healthy except over the last 2 seasons. You bring in Giancarlo Stanton, you take on a big contract because you thought it was a good deal. The Yankees sat there and made every excuse that Giancarlo Stanton, when healthy, he's an MVP candidate. And then some of these crazy moves. One of the moves that I vouched for, bringing in Frankie Montas. And Frankie Montas pitched how many games for the New York Yankees before his shoulder went on him? Frankie Montas will not be a Yankee this coming year. This organization has made mistake after mistake. And this roster, when it comes to the bullpen, has not sold to me. You bring King back. He goes into the bullpen again in the beginning of the season. Then you transform him into a starting pitcher. All of a sudden, he shows you that he is a good starting pitcher where he should have started before he was put in the bullpen, made a mistake, and now moving forward, the Yankees are going to have to figure out where this rotation is going. Because going into next season, Gerrit Cole, he should win the Cy Young. Gerrit Cole can opt out of his contract after next year. They're going to have to either extend him or let him go at the age of 33. Nestor Cortez, they threw out his shoulder, and that has a lot to do with Aaron Boone and his analytics, and the Yankees' analytics over the last couple of years not really being precise on how many games he should play and how many innings he should pitch. Luis Severino, absolute bust. Ever since he tore his UCL and then tore his shoulder, he's been out 2.5 years. He comes back. The guy hasn't pitched the same since they gave him the extension. That was a bad contract by Brian Cashman. They decided to make a trade with the Twins, and they bring in Josh Donaldson. I thought it was a good move, putting him between Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. The guy is a washed-up player. He was a washed-up third baseman. The only thing I remember is him yapping his mouth to the other bench when he was on the field. Had no power, nothing to show for a lineup that was supposed to be one of the best lineups in baseball. Brian Cashman comes out and makes excuse after excuse. Over the last 3 seasons, Brian Cashman has won championships. He was a part of those great years of the 90s and the early 2000s. But what have the Yankees done for us lately? They haven't won a championship since 2009. This is the longest drought in Yankee history. And you come out and you're defending everything about this organization, and that you're saying that we might not be the best in the class at the moment, but we're pretty damn good. How could you say that? 82-80? Your worst record since 92. And yes, it is a 500 record. And the Yankees have had more consistency when it comes to winning than any team in baseball. And you wonder where this team is going. Now you're hearing stories that they're interested in Juan Soto. But the Yankee fans were attacking Juan Soto in Yankee Stadium. The game that I was there, they were yapping. Why would Juan Soto want to come here and play in New York? Why would he want to play for the Yankees after what the Yankee fans were doing to him out in the outfield? And the whole Yamamoto thing. Is this going to happen? There were stories coming out that the Yankees were very close on making a deal and signing Yamamoto. Now there's stories coming out from Vegas, and Vegas predicting that the Red Sox have the best chance of landing him. And then the Mets have come out and said that they're going to put all their eggs in one basket for Yamamoto. Brian Cashman saying what he has said at these GM meetings and not really standing for what he believes, but now lashing out to the press and the fans that he doesn't like what they're saying behind closed doors or out in the open, saying what they have said about this organization, that it's all about analytics, which it's been about analytics ever since they fired Joe Girardi. Aaron Boone, he is one of the winningest managers right now in baseball. So for anybody that takes shots at Aaron Boone, it's Aaron Boone's fault. He lashes out to umpires. He sticks up for his players. That's what you want to see a manager do.
They have savages in the box.
I mean, he's the Lou Piniella of the Yankees. You would have thought that Joe Girardi was going to be that kind of manager, but if you look at how many times he lashed out, he's been thrown out of games. He's been thrown out of more games than any Yankee manager in the last 20 years. And that says a lot about who he is and what he believes in his team. But what this team has shown me is garbage. Gleyber Torres was your best player throughout the season, and now they're talking about even moving him this offseason, that they're not going to overpay him and that they're going to look elsewhere. And now Anthony Volpe wins the Gold Glove at shortstop, and then people lashing out at the Yankees that Volpe isn't the real deal and that he isn't good. And Brian Cashman is stuck by him. So I have to give Brian Cashman a lot of credit that he sticks by his youngsters and that he believes that these guys will develop. But who has developed over the last 20 years?